Today we're going to talk about how our sixth term of our homeschool year went. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sade. I'm a homeschool mom to 5 children. Their ages are 10, 7, 5, and then I have 2-year-old twins. We are wrapping up or have wrapped up their 4th, 1st, and pre-K year, but of course I'm just gonna roll everything over that we haven't finished into the summer. So this is kind of making our 7th term, which is gonna be our our summer term. So I have some notes here so I don't forget what everything I want to say, because we had some powerful wins and a lot of elevation this term. So first things first, let's get started with my 10-year-old update. She is reading more independently. I probably said that in my last update, but I'm starting to see the fruit of making sure that your children are great readers. I remember when she was starting out to read and she was having trouble reading, but she had good comprehension. And at one time I was comparing her to a child who was reading well, but when I sat down with that child did not have good comprehension. And so when that happened, I realized, okay, her fluency might be a little choppy, but she's understanding what she's reading. And now it all is coming together, because if I had pushed her into something she wasn't quite ready for yet, we may have lost that comprehension part, which is helpful when it comes to her being able to, at least start herself on her math and work with some of her language arts work. So she's comprehending, she's reading well, she's taking more initiative, and she's feeling more confident, and that's all I can ask for. Also with her, we've taken a break on more of the everyday math, and we're going back to more of the math facts with multiplication and division. She's doing well with it, but I just want to pause and make sure that she's got it, because if she's struggling with that, all the other math that's going to come after this, she's going to struggle, and I just want to make sure she's got that. I don't want to spend time with foundation stuff when we move on in her math. I want her to be able to learn a new concept, and still that building block, that the root of all math, it goes right back to addition and subtraction. As someone who's taking calculus 3 without a calculator, okay, so I'm flexing a little bit, but someone who's taking calculus 3 without a calculator, at some point you do have to use some technology. But my professors believed that it didn't matter what number you were using. If you didn't understand the concept, there was no point of even using high numbers, little numbers, whatever. So that's just where we are. Hold on, I think I have an interruption coming. Close my door! Now, on to my 7-year-old. Blending is going great. I am looking forward to us moving at a faster pace. But from my experience with my daughter, her reading well, fluently, without it being so choppy, it didn't really happen until she was 8 or 9. So we're going to keep going. He has 6 more lessons to do with the From Phonics to Reading Yellow Book Level K. We're going to roll him right on into the Red Book. We're not going to pause with him, just to kind of keep things fresh with him. And so with the Yellow Book, you're only really dealing with 3 sounds, 1-syllable words. With the Red Book Level A, you're moving on to 2-syllable words and probably 4 sounds. And in the Yellow Book, you only have to memorize 2 high-frequency words a week. With the Red Book Level A, it's 3 a week. Now, the only high-frequency word he knows is probably, and I probably should pause. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna move on to the Red Book, and don't let him move on to the next lesson until he's got those 3 high frequency words. He's got So he can blend, if he can blend it, he's got it, but he doesn't have those high frequency words down. So if you want to give me some advice on that, should I pause him, work on the high frequency words, or should I keep moving on? The high frequency words that he had in the yellow book are going to show up in the red book. And so my plan would be to just not even move him on to the next lesson in the red book until he's got the 3 down from the previous week. Does that make sense? Okay, let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, that's for reading. Oh, and he's excited to get to the red book because he saw Jessie with it, and he wants to get to the blue book because Jessie's on the blue book now, and she'll be moving on. She's halfway through the blue book, so she'll be going to the green book soon, level C, the last level. So he's highly motivated to get to the red book. With math, he's rolling right on through with Apologia. He's very strong in math. He reminds me of actually all my kids remind me of myself, but he reminds me of myself, being very high in math, like can listen, you not even have to study. He can look at a couple problems and he's set. The only thing with that is that it hinders you a little bit. It does, even though you're very high in math, at some point math becomes theory and you have to read about it, right? And so I always say, as a public school math teacher that taught high school math, upper level math, if you can't read, you can't do anything. So we're just gonna really rev up the reading this summer for him, and we will keep doing math as well, but just not every day. Okay, so then now we have my 5-year-old. He is enjoying lots of read alouds. He's enjoying that time with mom. He's enjoying the one Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I did put a Bob book in front of him. You know those Bob books, the first book, and he got scared. So, which is interesting because he does more reading in the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I don't know if it's because it's one page, because he's on lesson 60. Or if, like, when he saw the book, he just like freaked out because it's like a real book. So he read the title, he sounded the title out, and then I opened the page and we went through those sounds, and then when we opened it up to the story, he froze. So I didn't want to pressure him, and also it could have been the time of the day that I tried it. It was after lunch, and I typically try to do him first because he is still a 5-year-old. When it comes to math, I did not have a math curriculum for pre-K. I really wanted to focus on just the practicality of math, which is him, sorting spoons and forks, sorting a snack, passing out a snack, making sure we had a one-to-one, making sure he had enough snacks for all of his siblings. He's helping me in the kitchen a lot. So just being practical, what is it called? Like practical Montessori. I really liked that approach. And so it wasn't like anything, like it was a no pressure type thing for math. But I do find that it will be helpful for the math curriculum that we will be going to in the fall, and be looking out for that video. Now to my twins. Okay, now to my twins. So they've just been in the mix. They're 2, and as I would love for them to kind of like join in, they're not really ready for anything. With them, I'm not buying anything for preschool. Whatever we don't have, we ain't getting, because they're like the last ones. So a lot of my boys books from pre-K, and also just all of the older 3 books that they did not finish from pre-K, they're using those as coloring books. Whatever they want to do with them, they can scribble on them and all that. It's nothing serious. And I think with them, they are just reminding us to slow down and pay attention, and that laughs and messes and all of those things come with the territory of homeschooling. That's what we signed up for. And so just slowing down for them, incorporating them as much as we can, is going to be the key for our success. I think next year especially with my kindergartners math, they're going to have a lot of fun because it's very hands-on, and though they might not be doing the actual activity, all the things that we use, they can play with. And so I think that's going to be a very win-win year for us. I'm hoping. But I'm hoping it's not a distraction for my kindergartner. So we'll see how all of that goes. As for history, we are still doing history. But this was our history term. And we laid aside a lot of the hands-on stuff because with the twins it was very hard to have the scissors and the crayons and the markers. I can show you my walls for proof. But it was very hard to have that stuff out. And yes, we could say, oh, we'll just wait for nap time, but their naps are getting shorter. And I like to reserve that time for reading because that's like the subject that's the hardest in general for our house. And so the less distractions that are around, that's what we really reserve that time for. So we went to just the picture books in our curriculum for Ancients, History Odyssey, level 1. And that's still been rich because we're still having conversations. We're still talking about it. I will say, I like the idea that I had in my head was to follow up with a YouTube video, but that didn't help either. So just reading the story, reading the picture book, having conversations, and moving on. That's it. We haven't even been doing the timeline. So a little sad about it, but we got to go at the pace that our home allows us. Like, the least frustration we can have was like the goal for this term. Less frustration, just ease, grace and ease. This next upcoming term is going to be our science term, and we're hoping to finish up Zoology 1. The kids are loving it, and our library at the end of this month has a bird exhibit coming. And so I thought that would be great to put a hands-on experience in real life, tactile thing, because they've learned about flying creatures. So that's going to be an exciting time for our homeschool, and it's kind of like everything's coming together, and I'm loving this for my children and for me because it was a no-brainer activity for them to do that was free. As for things coming up, we have a family vacation coming up, and so we'll have a break. Then we have about 4 weeks, actually 3 weeks of instruction, or 2.5 weeks of instruction. Take the break. I'm gonna need time to get things back in order once we get back from vacation. So I would say then we'll come back and do about another 4 weeks, and then the kids have vacation Bible school, and then we're back into the new school year. I had planned on testing my daughter on Sunday, and I signed up for a quiet room at the library. Oh, okay, so we live in North Carolina, and we are a testing state. So at the end of your school year, or within 1 year of you opening your school, so if you opened your school in May or March, February, you would need to test your child within that 1 year, every year, annually. And so I use the CAT test. If you are thinking about using that, I do have a discount link in the description box. So check that out if that's something you want to use. But I had planned on testing her, signed up for a quiet room, planned on testing my son, signed up for a quiet room, and I forgot. After church, I took a nap because I ended up teaching Sunday school, and those after church naps be on it. But I missed the room. So I'm going to have to re-sign them up, and then I felt like it was just better for them to have a quiet room to test because it's a bit chaotic. And though the test scores are not used for anything, it's just like we have to test them and we have to hold the results. I want them to still kind of take it seriously because the plan is college. They're going to have to take tests in college and all that. But so just kind of seeing like where they are, that's great for me as a parent to know where to move forward for next year. As for me in seminary, I feel like right now God is just working on sanctification and how it doesn't necessarily happen during those quiet times. It happens in real life. It happens when you're, constantly being faced with things, and the maturity of a saint, let's just call it that. And so I've been teaching at my church for the adults on conflict, and I realized that I'm an avoider. And that's not a good thing. It's something that God is working with me on, and that I need to not focus on, because I will avoid because I don't want the other person to feel a certain way about me, like when it deals with conflict. It could be something minor as well. And so we're focusing on like what the person thinks about me versus what God is doing in this moment is something that God is working with me on. And I'll just be honest that even like in my marriage, I avoid conflict, but I need to start speaking up, because being quiet about something doesn't make me a better person. Actually, it's very selfish, because I don't give that other person even a chance to, it doesn't have to be my husband, it could be whatever the conflict is. I don't give the other person a chance to be heard. And that's not fair, because I then make up a story in my head, and that story in my head becomes truth. And we have my truth, the other person's truth, and God's truth. And I kind of stop that process of healing if I'm avoiding conflict. And Jesus never avoided conflict. Yes, he may have done it in love, or sometimes he was a little indignant about it. You know what I mean? But there's discernment on how to address conflict. So that's what we'll leave it on that. I'm still in the thick of Hebrew. I got 3 weeks left. And it's interesting. Oh my gosh, guys. I got a scholarship for Greek. Last summer, I took a Greek intensive, and I got a scholarship for the work that I did in my scholarly stuff. Like, I don't even know how to word it because I'm so excited. Also, I took New Testament, and so we used, when you study New Testament, you're using a different language, you're using Greek. And so, yeah, the language department decided that I was deemed scholarly, and I got a scholarship. So I am currently taking Hebrew, and then in the fall, I do take Old Testament. And so it's just all coming full circle. So that scholarship kind of ignited a fire in me with Hebrew. I was not so excited about it, but your girl's gonna be okay. Your girl's gonna be okay. Your girl's gonna be okay. And then I'm also, this is my internship year as well. So in August, I'm going to a different church. I have to leave my church and go to a different church from August to April and intern there. I'm in good hands though. It's just sad because I really love working with the people at my church. And so when I come back in that April, it's going to be fire. Going to be fire, because I'm coming back and I'm just so excited about my future and everything that I have going on with seminary. So now when it comes to what we're doing for the 7th term that's being broken up constantly because of vacations, it's just a mess. So this is what we're going to do. So Monday was actually our last co-op day. It's a play co-op, so it's not really necessarily like we're doing lessons, but they get to play and run around with friends. That was our last day with each other. So my schedule has changed a tad bit. Instead of 8 terms, we're going to go down to 7. This 7th term actually is going to hold 7 weeks. 7, like when I counted the days, because it's going to be broken up. We have like different things going on where we won't be doing school. We'll be just literally out of town. So breaking that up, we actually are going to end up homeschooling 168 days, which is fine because our district only homeschooled the kids were only in school like 135 days or something like that. So we still homeschooled more than the district. I'm at peace. And we're going to have a subject-based rhythm. So on Mondays is just going to be science and art, because this is our science term. We just ended our history term. And so this is coming up on our science term. We're going to do science and art on Mondays. Let's see what I have written down. On Tuesdays, we're going to do language arts and reading. So I'm putting aside a 30-minute time block where the kids are focusing on reading. And myself, I'm going to read too, because I got things I want to read once Hebrew's over. I have things that I would like to read. So I'm going to set aside a 30-minute reading block. I'm probably going to add that to every single day, to be honest, because who doesn't need to read? And then on Wednesday and Friday, we're going to do math and reading. So it will not be the reading curriculum. It'll just be like them, again, reading for 30 minutes and math. And so I think that's going to work good, because this is my summer too. I want to teach them what it's like to rest well and what a flow of Sabbath looks like, and that mommy's not going to be running crazy like a chicken with their head cut off. Okay, so our mornings, that hasn't changed. Our mornings are our outings, right? Except kind of the outside is more open to us now. So there's pool time, there's splash pads, there's parks, there's the library, all kinds of things. There's museums, exhibits. That stuff will be in the morning. Then when we come home, rest, because the sun will beat you up. And then we'll get into a little bit of schoolwork. And then we also don't have to pull all that stuff out and clean up and all that. So that's what the summer will be. It will be just a focus on resting, enjoying outside as much as we can, because it does get hot here. So there is a point in the day where you're just not even happy being outside. And so you have to be inside. And so what we'll do when we are inside, forced to be inside, is just focus on kind of getting through some of that curriculum and keeping their brains fresh and not letting things die. So yeah, that's it. That's our term 6 update. We didn't have anything big going on. I don't even think we did a field trip. Oh, my daughter went to the pool with some friends, but we didn't do a field trip this term. So yeah, going into term 7 with a lot of exciting things coming up. And if you are looking for a test for your child, then go ahead and check out that link in the description box. I believe that I get something out of it too. Like either you get $5 off or I get $5 off. Or we both get $5 off. I don't know, but I do get something out of it. So yeah. Also, yeah, so just let me know if you have any big wins or not so big wins, or if you need any help with your homeschool, any questions that you have. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability or point you in the right direction. These next couple of videos will be curriculum picks and then planning for the new school year. That's another reason why I'm not kind of going full force this summer, because I want to plan for this next school year well. And we will probably be trying out a couple of different schedules that I have in mind to see how they go. But yeah, so if you haven't heard it today, God loves you deeply and dearly. He is enamored by you. And so, I love you. God loves you more. Don't forget to drink your water and repent. Bye.